Metal roofing has been the choice roofing for prestigious buildings for a very long time because of its flexibility, light weight, and resistance to the elements. Using metal for roofing purposes was reserved for high-profile buildings due to its high cost and specialized installation methods. The construction of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France, started in 1163 and was completed in 1345. The roof of this famous monument was made using 1,320 heavy lead plates that are still standing today. The present-day form of the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, Turkey, was built between 532 and 537. The lead roof was ill-maintained, but lasted 1,400 years before needing restoring. The oldest Islamic monument still standing, the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, is roofed with lead covered in gold. It was built between 687 and 691 BC. Monticello, built for Thomas Jefferson, had a metal roof installed in 1807 that still stands today. Lightning was a danger at Monticello, and the many trees surrounding the building would catch fire because of their placement as the highest points on the mountain. The benefit to having a metal roof is that it protects the building from catching fire. The copper roofs on the towers of St. Mary's Cathedral in Germany were installed 800 years ago and are still standing today. The Kronborg Castle in Denmark, an important European Renaissance castle known for being the setting of Shakespeare's Hamlet, had a copper roof. The copper roof was installed in 1585, renovated in 2009, and is still standing today. There are many examples of metal lasting hundreds of years in North America, too. After a fire destroyed many of the Parliament buildings on Parliament Hill in Ottawa in the summer of 1916, the roofs were replaced with copper that still stands today. The Washington Monument was built with an aluminum cap at the tip to protect the monument against lightning. It was the largest piece of aluminum of its day and has been there since 1884. Lodges would meet at the Ancaster Masonic Hall, one of the oldest stone buildings in Ancaster with a 140-year-old metal roof. The installation methods of metal roofing have evolved greatly from their time of invention. These changes can be grouped into three basic categories: ancient, Industrial Revolution, and now. For thousands of years, the installation of metal roofing was very specialized and labor-intensive. There were four major techniques to installing metal roofing. One technique was to hammer the pieces of metal directly to the roof. This is the method they used on the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France. Another popular method was to take advantage of metal's flexibility and weld the pieces of metal together, which achieved an entirely seamed roof that was completely resistant to water leakage. A slightly more complex technique was board and batten. Wooden battens would be installed on the roof, and metal was fitted around the batten to ensure a watertight seam between sheets. The final technique is similar to board and batten, with the exception that no wooden batten is required. The area where the two sheets of metal met would be strategically bent in a manner that overlaps and interlocks, making it watertight. These methods were difficult because all of the work had to be done on the spot on the roof. After the Industrial Revolution, changes in the installation techniques were made to have some of the work prefabricated at the manufacturing plant. Different ways of connecting the sheets together by clip-on or standing seams were developed. This innovation reduced the level of specialized labor because the interlocking work was done in the factory and not on the roof, but metal roof installations still require a metal roofing specialist. Another thing that changed because of the Industrial Revolution was changes in the metal itself. No longer did people have to rely on the natural aging appearance of expensive metals like copper, zinc, and gold. Now, the much more affordable steel could be made rust-resistant and painted to any color. This quickly became a trend. Now, metal roofing installation has been taken another step closer to making it easier, with new profiles shaping the metal into individual panels. After this innovation, wood battens were still being used to install the panels. That is, until a built-in batten profile was introduced. eliminating the need for wood battens. This further minimized the amount of labor needed while installing the roof. And later a hidden fastener system was developed where the panels can clip onto one another with the screws hidden underneath the overlapping panels. According to the Metal Roofing Alliance, in 1998 metal comprised of just 4% of the residential re-roofing market and 1–2% of the new home construction market. This has risen to an overall market share of 11% in re-roofing and 5.5% of all roofing. An innovation that holds much responsibility for the rise in popularity of metal roofs in the residential market is stone coating.